Good morning, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Peace and wisdom. Now today I want to do this very deep video called The Hell Within a Woman. And this video is very deep and very important. Hopefully most of you have been following me long enough to grasp a little bit. The sperm is the spirit. The egg is the body. In all worlds, all realms of existence, are bodies. Physical worlds are bodies. All of them. When I say bodies, I mean a physical body. And the world is within. So you have micro cells within you. But I'm going to get into all of that. Before I start this video, I want to say something. Because I did a video on a few of the other teachers the other day, and I was kind of picking on them and whatnot. You know, not picking on them. I was saying real things, but it's just funny. However you want to view it, that's not important to me. But the main thing I want to say is, I don't want anyone to get lost in that video and not take away the truth in the deepness from it. My whole thing about that video, it wasn't about antagonizing the brothers, but it was more or less, in today's times, the brothers are everybody. We force our ways on people, and that's what I have a problem with. So it's like the African theory thing, and we all descendants of the Africans, and this is forced on people. Some people know their nationality. And you have the brothers in today's times, they teach the African stuff, and I have no problem with that. Whatever you subscribe to, fine. But I spoke against them because they all have that nature of force. It's almost like if you don't subscribe to what this person says or that person says, then you a coon. And you ignorant. Mind you, this is being forced on people, and people haven't even done their ancestry check to even know if they come from Africa, and they're forcing it on people. But it's bigger than the African thing. It's the whole costume, I have a master teacher thing, and all of this is forced on people, and it's disrespectful. I'm a man. I don't subscribe to that kind of stuff. Brother asking me, who's your master teacher? I'm a goddamn man. I learn from the life. I don't have no master. And respect that. But a man that has a master, now all the brothers I named, they got masters and weird stuff that I'm just not familiar with as a man. I don't know what world they grew up in. But I didn't grow up in that world. A man is a man, and as a man is respected as a man. Not as a kid. Not as I have a master, but I'm grown. So my whole thing, I don't want to drag on about that, but my whole thing is these things are forced on people. And that's where I got to draw the line. If you have a master teacher and you learned that way, I don't have a problem with it until you begin to be like, oh, then I got a problem with it. Because everybody don't have to have no master teacher. The master teacher usually didn't have a master teacher. So that's all I'm trying to say. We got the followers of masters telling the following how to be followers. And I'm basically just like, the master teacher didn't have a follower. You don't have to dress goofy and wear costumes to, be a part of what's going on, movements and things like this. You don't have to say, oh, I have African ancestry. I know that most of us, 80% of us, our ancestry lies with the natives. But if you want to pull for the African side, I don't mind. So I think we get a little confused when I go at the African teachings. It's not going against those that want to subscribe to that. It's going against those that want to force this on people, yet they don't even know their ancestry truly. They just subscribe into the movement. But a movement is a movement, but we can't be forcing that as knowledge upon people. So that's all I was pretty much trying to say in that video. it wasn't so much about going back and forth or getting people lost and say, oh, but you do the same thing. I do nothing like no one. I just do my own thing. And being a grown-ass man is just not what's cool in today's times. You know, being an old man is, I'm old, baby. I'm an old man. I'm cool with that. And everybody want to be young. They subscribe to what I call goofy things. But it is what it is. Hopefully nobody was offended enough to where, you know, shit gets stupid. Because like I said, I'm grown. I don't got time for foolishness. Especially the way foolishness is handled today. That whole part I don't got time with. I don't got time for. But in any event, I want to go ahead and get to this video so I can go ahead and start my day, you know. Knock this out early. I want to do this video for you guys called The Hell Within a Woman. Now, you have scientists, you have philosophers in, philosophy. You have science, you have philosophy, you have religion. You have many different aspects of life, or the teachings of the understandings of it, but they all say the same exact thing. See, it's a matter of observation and then explaining what one observes. So the philosopher, he's explaining life in his words, and the scientist is explaining what he sees in life in his words, and religion the same way. Now we separate all these things, and this is what causes confusion, because then we have a large variety of the same things, and if you subscribe to that thing, then you look at the other thing as something different, even though it's one and the same. So, you know, we look for the differences in things. We don't look for the similarities in things. We don't look at everything here, no, whether it's philosophy, science, people, animals. We don't look at everything in this world that we're in as one, being as though we're all here. We don't view it that way. We tend to look at how we're different. And there's way more similarities, but the mind works how it works. It all depends on the high, lows of the central. But, and I'm talking spirit, you know. It's like I said, everything is one thing. So, you know, you got the seventh chakra, and what I just said is you pretty much correlated to that. You can correlate it to Christianity with heaven and hell, and physical life is the central. But in any event, I want to do this video. Now, you have the duality in the life, so therefore that duality manifests out into the physical. Now, if you've been following me long enough, you know that I say the sperm is the spirit, the egg cell is the body, and all bodies are worlds. So your body has billions and trillions of micro life within it. And they live how they live. And there's billions and trillions of us here within the star. And we're the micro life within the star, living our existence. And the stars, billions of them, and they're the micro cells are micro life within the cosmos. I mean, the universe, you can say. So the life is all the same. It all has its levels. So all worlds are bodies. Sperm cells are spirits. Egg cells are bodies. You know, your physical body. Now, you have the duality of the life. Therefore, you have male worlds and female worlds. Now, don't get lost and think, oh, this is pseudo. Every word I just said is life. You see male and female all before you in life. So you have to snap out of your pseudo and come into reality, because when you've been in pseudo so long, reality sounds pseudo. So when I say all worlds are bodies and you have male worlds and female worlds, this is real life. This is science. This is philosophy. Whatever you tie what I said to, it correlates. So in science, they say, oh, we have billions and trillions of cells within our bodies, and they live and do what they do, and so grasp. I didn't say nothing different. I just said it in a more defined way. Because scientists, for some reason, they don't grasp that if you're a living being and whatever's attached or within you is living beings also. Life is within the life. So you have to grasp. You don't have robots, and we kind of look at cells like they gigabytes, and this is life on just a smaller level. But you have male worlds and female worlds, because all worlds are bodies. It's a simple thing. If you think a world is not a body, then what is it? A box? Grasp. The life sustains the life, not boxes. So grasp. We live in a dome. We live in a flat plane that's covered in a dome. We're not in a snow globe. We're life. Life sustains life. You can't put a fish in a snow globe. It'll die. So if we were in a globe or a dome, a glass dome, we would be dead. You have to grasp. It's a very deep thing. I don't even want to get into that because that has nothing to do with this video. But the more you know, the more you grasp. But you have male worlds, you have female worlds. Now, the woman's body is the hell in the life. All of it. It's a deep thing. This is why in Norse mythology, you have Helheim. And this is what we know as hell. And you have the goddess Hel over Helheim. So we have hell as hell and the devil runs hell. Mind you, all this comes from Norse. In Norse, the accurate way is Hel is the actual person. It's a woman. It's a deep thing. And within this woman are her realm, grasp, worlds of bodies. Hell is a woman. Helheim is what they call the realm within her. You know, and the spirits that live dishonorable lives, they go to Helheim, which is Hell's realm, or Hell's body, her world. And it was a female. The devil was a female. Really, it wasn't no devil, because it's all lower, higher self, but they viewed the dishonorable, or the realm we will refer to as hell, as a woman. She ran that realm. And it's like that in many traditions. But, you know, women lost their, I don't know what happened. I guess men don't truly like women at the core surface of their beings, because they kind of erase women from history. So you had like Lilith and Nana and many different women figures. Shiva was a woman. I don't know how that happened. They made all of these things like, forget them. Because, you know, it's a deep thing. But you had these different women figures, and they represented, in the times of these women, it was different. It was viewed different. The philosophy, we don't grasp the philosophy, but if we fully grasp the philosophy, these women would represent the hell, or the physical. The physical existence is the hell. And the woman or the female represents that. That's how you came into the physical. So it was deep the way the ancients grasped the philosophy. We speak the philosophy, we speak the science, we speak the religion, but we don't truly grasp, if that makes any sense. But they fully grasped the philosophy. It wasn't a matter of good and bad and, oh, this is a biased video against women and women are bad and that. No. This has to do with the duality of life. You would have no physical life if it wasn't for a woman. So grasp. Now, you'd still exist if there were men, but it would be in spirit form, or what we call sperm cell form. So it's a deep thing. It's when the sperm cells go into the womb and the body is gotten. Then you're born or manifested into the physical existence. which is hell. This is when you live in life. Just look around you. Look what we do. If you have any morality, just look. We eat food. This is other forms of living life. And we so lost, we don't even view it that way. It's like, nah, this is how life works. Life feeds on life. And that's like, apply that to yourself. You feed on yourself. You like, hell no. I'm going to feed on other life. So this is my point. But the life is all one. So grasp. And the life feeds on the life. And it looks at itself as separate. Because once you come into the physical, you become an individual. It's a simple thing. All the sperm cells, they all one within the man's body, and then they shot out into the womb, the darkness, the death. And we know what happens to those sperm cells. They die. They've been condemned to death the moment the man ejaculates into the woman. Now, one lucky sperm, sometimes two, will manifest from that death. And we call that birth. And that's regular, normal life. And that ain't got nothing to do with hell and in heaven and stuff like that. And it's a deep thing. The philosophies of life, heaven, hell, that's what it's talking about. Real life. We separate real life because we don't grasp. And we make it something else. But it doesn't matter which level of life you're on. Cells reproduce. And they go through the same thing we go through. Meaning, cells have sex, they have babies, and they're born. And cells die. And it's a deep thing. I know some people say, no, cells reproduce this way or that way. We have many forms of reproducing right before us on our realm of existence or our level. Everything doesn't reproduce the same, but it's the same. So everything on our realm of life doesn't reproduce by sex, or what we would call sex, but so it's the same on the below, or within. So it's the same. Cells reproduce how they reproduce, and some of them reproduce how we do, through sex. Others reproduce how they do. Some of the cells are likened to trees. Some of the cells are likened to people. Some are likened to animals, insects, etc., etc. Cells are all different sizes, and they all do different things. And this is all science, I'm saying. A scientist will tell you this. The cells are all different sizes. They all do their own different kind of thing, and so it's no different than here, But it's just the perspective you look at it. Once you disconnect life from life, then this is how that happens. You're like, no, the cells are different. No, they're not. Now, a woman's body is the hell. When you're born into the physical, you become an individual. And this is how that separation happens. You begin to raise yourself up above others and look at things separate from yourself. Mind you, it's all life. But it's a deep thing. You have the man, and he has the sperm cells, and this is what I call the spirits. Spirits are released from that man. And we all know, the sperm go down. Usually man on top of a woman, sperm go down into her, into that darkness, the vagina, the womb. This is all darkness. This is the realm of the blood, the death. Because a woman's egg cell has to do with blood. And blood has to do with physicalness. Grasp. Physical things bleed within the blood of a woman. The blood within a woman's womb during the menstrual. This is not just liquid, but it has flesh from the uterus wall all within it, and this blood, or that egg cell, so we call it, because the egg cell is within the blood, and it is the blood, and it's a deep thing. That body, because that egg cell is nothing but a body, but it has no spirit or sperm cell within it, and that body is the clay. So when the ancients said the gods made man out of clay, a body is clay. It's real clay. And then we got what we call clay, which is just an imitation of the life. So all the things we have, they just mimics and imitations of the life. But your body is the clay. Grasp. And blood is mud. So he made man out of mud and clay, grass, blood. Within the blood, you got the flesh. The blood is like the mud. The flesh within that blood. That whole egg cell is just an undeveloped body. But it has everything that the body becomes. The flesh, the clay, or what they would call in the ancient times the clay. So we call skin flesh. They called it clay. And it's a deep thing. But once the sperm cell goes into that egg cell, it's over. Grasp how deep that is. You are born out into the physical. Manifest from that death. Because when the sperm cell go into the womb, they're alive. We know this. They're moving, swimming, flying, however you want to view it. Because the womb is just a micro sky. So, as above, so below. And you can view the sperm cell as flying. Scientists say swimming, but up above is liquid as well. All worlds are bodies. It's a deep thing. So, the sky or space is liquid. Areas of it. And this is why when planes fly around and they come back, they have frost on the windows, it'll be wet. Space is water. So it's a deep thing. The womb is liquid and water and blood. And the sperm cells go in there and they die. When a man ejaculates into a woman, those spirits are dead. They've been condemned to death. Now, one lucky one will manifest from that death. We call that being born. It's a deep, cold-blooded thing. The rest of the sperm cells are finito. They become back one with the all. And once you do that, you're no longer an individual. You just be one with the all. And all life is just the all, separated into billions of different aspects of life. So all the different life forms you see in different dualities and aspects and philosophies of life, this is just one thing being separated into many different aspects. It's like the physical life is the broken up all. And you know, when spirits run their course, because the spirit body, we like to think the spirit is eternal. Yeah, when it's back one with the all and it's no longer an individual. But you know, all existence has its limits, and a physical body has its time, and the astral or spirit body, which is within you, that energy source, it has its time as well. So, you know, sperm cells are they're individuals from one another once they're pushed out into the woman's womb, and they live in that existence as sperm cells are just spirits, no body, separate from one another, moving throughout the womb, living their life until one gets the egg or whatnot. And you know, when that one gets the egg and it manifests into the next level of life, becoming like the world it came out of, you know, the rest they still live their life in there for however long it works, you know. I don't want you to think as soon as conception happens in the sperm's just dead automatically. This is life. So you just have to begin to start to view things more like life. But, excuse me. Sperm cells get eggs, and it's like I said, the physical is hell. And when the sperm cells get into that egg, or the spirits get the body, they're in hell. Once the sperm cells leave the men, they're in hell. It's a cold-blooded, deep thing. Now, I don't want women to get lost, because all women came from men as well. When you talking sperm cells, spirits, grass. I have a daughter. The sperm is the spirit. Women get confused. They say, we don't have sperm. Well, I didn't say you had to have sperm. I didn't say having sperm is the spirit, but I said the sperm is the spirit. Now, You know, my daughter was one of my sperm cells. I know we tend to separate the life and we don't realize simple things like that. At one point in time, my daughter, she lived within me. And she was what I like to call a spirit or a sperm cell. Now, she was one with my sperm cell or spirit. You know, because I'm a spirit I'm a sperm within an egg right before you. Or a spirit in the body. And I got the micro spirits within me. Because, you know, we all got micro life within us. Cells. These things live, they die. When they die, your body is the world. So, you know, it recuperates the energy from the dead. The spirits from those micro cells. And this is what becomes the men's sperm cells, as we call it in science. But it's just gathering the dead cells' spirits, and a man releases them. So at one point in time in life, my daughter was a cell within my body. Literally. Micro cell. You know those things that y'all say, cells don't work like that. Cells don't have sex. And, well, if you want to be technical, not pseudo, but technical, because I like to deal with real life. In real life, my daughter was a cell within my body at one point in time. You know how you know that? Because I shot out as a sperm cell or a spirit. This ain't make-believe. You don't just say, oh, spirits, they floated out of God's ass as I was having a baby. No. Get real. I shot my daughter into her mother. I shot her into hell. Her and a whole bunch of other spirits. And I shot them right into her mother, which is hell. And my daughter was the lucky one that got the egg cell. But I guess you can say lucky, or you can say lucky to get into hell. And she's the one that manifested from that death. She's the sperm cell that got the egg. The sperm is the spirit. Don't matter if you're a woman or a man. So I don't want people to get lost and say, oh, he's trying to say women are bad, and y'all just don't grasp for some reason, and I don't know what it is, but I just do what I do. I try to keep the knowledge coming so that people can grasp, but that's the hell. The physical is the hell. You were born into the hell the moment that your dad dropped you into your mother's womb, which is hell. And it's a deep philosophy or science, because if you look at it from science perspective, sperm cells get eggs, babies are born. Now, the in-depth understanding of that, spirits fell into hell. And one manifested from that hell or death into the higher realms of hell. So it's deep. It's like a spirit falling to his death and rising into heaven, which is truly just another physical existence of hell. So you left your father as micro spirits. You got a body. The rest of them died. They were condemned to death, just like you. And y'all all was shot into that darkness, which was the womb. And it was hell. And those micro cells of life within the woman, they attacked y'all because y'all was foreign. And it was a whole little journey of events. And then you got the egg. The rest of them, you know, they was just subjected to that death. Stuck in that realm. Separated from the heaven or the oneness with the man spirit that they had. Where they didn't have to be individuals. They just were one with the man. So this is that whole heaven and God talk, and it's a simple, deep thing, but once that happens, you know, you got the egg, and it's like you rose from the dead. We call that being born, and you rose from the dead, or how like Jesus would say, or like Christianity would say, you was resurrected from the dead and brought to heaven. But this is the heaven that it's speaking of. And I don't want you to just get stuck here, but you know, we're cells within the star, and everything I just said, it correlates for us as well. So It's a deep, simple thing you have to grasp. Cells die. And you have the spirit or the sperm cell left. And you know, it's a deep thing depending on what kind of body we in. It's all going to depend on how it's going to go down. But according to the ancients, it's a man's body, we going to be shot out. Well, the star. I don't want you to get lost into the earth and say, you know, the earth is a woman. I'm talking about the star. We're cells in the star, not cells on the earth. I'm sorry I laughed because people get lost. And they be jumping at me real fast. They don't think for a minute. But we'll be shot out as sperm cells and condemned to our death as we're already in our death, which is the hell. And, you know, I guess if you look at it from that perspective, you know, you was a sperm cell that was shot into your mother or shot into hell, and you was lucky enough to get an egg cell and be born to do hell all over again. I guess in a sense you could say that is heaven, because other than that, it was over for you. It was back to the all. And, you know, all spirits that you see in the physical, all they care about is, you know, individuality, they self. And that's why we move how we move. So I don't want you to get confused or think like, nah, this just doesn't make any sense what Solace is saying. And it does. If you believe in science, then you believe in what I just said. Those who made up the science terminology, y'all don't have a relationship with them to go in depth and say, what did you mean? I don't mean scientists of today that came out of school, but the men who made the sciences. They didn't go to a school, they weren't conditioned, but they understood something and they explained it or pushed it out that way and it became science. And then you have the great philosophers of the past, and they understood something and they broke it down that way. Like I say, the sperm is the spirit, and then y'all get confused like, no, sperm cells is, and you forget this is all life. You can't demote the sperm cells of the spirits to, no, they ain't nothing, and it's deep. You was that. So you just disrespect yourself when you don't kind of grasp what I say. Not grasp what I say. I don't want you to look at it as force like you have to. You don't have to grasp. But the things y'all say against my teachings, you go against yourself. It's a deep thing. You know, you was a sperm cell that got an egg, and you was a spirit that got a body. You're still a spirit in the body. The sperm cell got the egg, and they came up and became one and was born out. But we kind of think like the sperm cell just disappeared or became one. People get lost in the chromosomes talk, and they like, no, the sperm cell had the man. Listen, man, the semen has the man's DNA, you can say, all within it. The sperm cell does also because it's covered in semen, and the chromosomes is just a matter of the sperm cells locking into the egg. I know y'all will view life and y'all don't look at every aspect, so y'all think the sperm cell goes into the egg and it's just flinging around in there like a penny in a jar, and you don't even think about that. You like, I didn't even think about what the sperm cell did once it went in the egg, and this is my point. But, you know, this is real life. So you put a battery in a phone and you have to lock it in. And it has its like 3 little prongs, and the phone has its 3 little prongs, and you kind of locked up, and that's the chromosomes. That's how that works. The sperm cell goes into the egg. The chromosomes connect. They lock in. It's like a plug. It really has nothing to do with the DNA, but the DNA is, the egg is the DNA. All that blood and what the egg is the DNA, that's semen. So you get semen mixing in with the blood, and this is how you get DNA from the daddy, and the woman, the egg cell, is the body. So your body is truly all your mama. It came from what she made. The egg cell is the body. So whatever the egg cell was, it came from the woman. So your flesh, your everything about you, that's the woman. But the spirit within this came from the man. So you got the spirit of your daddy and the body of your mama. And you got your daddy's DNA from his body, because the sperm cell's covered in semen. The semen is what a lot of y'all think sperm is. So this is why people get lost. They like, no, sperm is just goo. You got sperm cells within that goo. But that goo is, the man's genetics. And that's how you get that within the woman, and that's how when the baby is born, you can kind of get the man genes and the woman's genes because of that mixture. But the sperm is the spirit, the egg is the body. Don't have nothing to do with that. People get confused trying to debunk this, so they just reach for things that don't even have nothing to do. That's not even the same subject. But if you don't understand that chromosomes have to do with sperm cells locking into eggs, then this is why people get confused and they think, oh no, this has to do with the genes. Every part of a person has to do with the every part of a person has to do with the genes, the genetics. Because it started from the micro. So you have to grasp. Everything that built up from the micro, the genes is in every aspect. So we kind of get lost in like, the genes going to be there. The DNA, the genetics, that's going to be in every aspect of you. Your hair, your spit. You can't get lost and say, no, it's the chromosomes. The chromosomes just got to do with the spirit locking into the body, or the sperm cell locking into the eggs. Damn, I got to get a manicure today. But, I got lost. My bad, y'all. But, the chromosomes just have to do with the locking in. As above, so below. Woman's womb, no different than the nighttime space sky you see. And we in weird times in today. And I heard a brother say, man, space ain't real. This flat earth thing is taking y'all brain like into la la land. Brother said, space ain't real. When you look up above, you see dark night space, that ain't real. It's so cold-blooded. Space is everywhere. Once you think space ain't real, something wrong with you. All physical things are within their space. Right now, I'm in the space of this room. If you remove the room, if you remove the house and all the walls in it, I'm in the space outside. All is space. Now, the space we in is light right now because it's daytime, but at nighttime, you just in dark space. Brother said space ain't real. Huh? What? So stars that we physically see up in the nighttime sky, they not in space. He say, no, those ain't real. That ain't really there. That's a light. Well, ain't that light in some kind of space? If a thing ain't in space, or in the space it's in, then what the hell is it in? How does that work? You got physical things in space. You got physical and unphysical. And they work together. See, I'm right here, right now, in the space that you don't see. How do you remove the space and I'm still... How does that work? But the flat earth brother said, man, space ain't real. It's an illusion. Grasp. This is what I'm talking about. We getting lost. Truly, truly lost. Brothers think because NASA lied about going to the moon, they think that's why Earth is not a globe. For some reason, they think that when we went to the moon, supposedly, that's how we figured out the shape of Earth. They fail to realize before the moon faking and all of this, ancient philosophers viewed the world as a globe. Grasp that. It didn't have nothing to do with nobody going to the moon. It's why they said the earth was a globe. A lot of y'all are so young and ignorant. And ignorant means just don't know. You don't know certain things. So a lot of y'all believe that scientists, and I say that because of the way y'all speak. Y'all say they lied about going to the moon. The earth is flat. So you must think that the globe theory correlates with the moon, but it doesn't. Globe was before any moon going to the moon talk ever even came. In the ancient times, a little before Christopher Columbus or around his times, they had the world as flat. And not the whole world, just them. As time went on, that changed. They understood, okay, the earth can't be flat, that's foolish. And then, technology it develops and, you get a better perspective. But way before men had cars and all the television and technology and things that we have now, and way before this, the earth was a globe. So when George Washington Day, earth was a globe. What George Washington is, 17 something? I forget these motherfuckers' times, but whatever. He was a globe in his time. Ain't what nobody went to no moon. So I'm just saying that so that y'all can grasp. The moon landing, that can be a lie, but that don't have nothing to do with the shape of Earth. They didn't say they went to the moon to say they could prove the shape of the Earth. They just went to the moon just to say that they went to the moon and the Russians didn't. So that's just a whole separate lie that had nothing to do with the shape of Earth. Now, aside from that, y'all are getting extra lost now because y'all are like the space isn't real and space is all. When you get lost and think there's no space, you completely lost your mind. You have space within you. What the hell is wrong with y'all? You see this that I'm touching? I'm right here. And then there's like a whole bunch of stuff I can move my arms around in. Now it's not physical, but it's called space. And you know the orange juice is in the space and it's a whole bunch of stuff in the space, but space is real. You can't, say, no, space ain't real. When I look up above and I see the dark space, that ain't real. Yes, it is. There's always space. This is where physical things are in. There's space. It's a deep, cold-blooded thing. Space goes so far up. This is why flat earth brothers' brains don't grasp. They like, no, it's a glass dome. Remove y'all glass dome theory so y'all can grasp. Life consists of the three things, man. The unphysical, the midpoint physical, which is astral, molecule. You can, if you a scientist, the unseen would be atoms and things below that, you can say. And once atoms begin to come together, you get molecules, and this is like the liquid and the astral. And then you get the physical. So life consists of the three things. You yourself as well. You consist of liquid. You're a physical solid person. You consist of liquid. And you consist of gases. And then there's a aura of yourself that's completely unseen, and that's the space that you're in. We're all in our space. Even when we're face to face, you're in your space. And if you're my hand and I'm me, and we're this close, you're still in your space. And it's truly a simple thing, you know. Brothers are really getting lost, and it's hard to tell people that because then they be like, you think you the only one that know everything, and you said that. I'm just telling you you're wrong. How do we get from that to that? Because you said you know everything. Okay, and you keep bringing the shit up. So you must believe it, or you must, I don't know. I said it one time. I don't like to repeat myself. So either you grasped when I said it or you didn't. But that's what I said. I stand on that. Now, aside from that, you keep bringing it up. Ain't gonna make me change it. You're not making yourself right about anything when you be like, you think you know everything. You said you know all. That's your ego. What do me saying I know everything got to do with ego? That y'all brain is like negative. I don't get it. It's weird. But y'all bring this up. So you just like weird. Y'all like to torture yourselves. So me saying I know all and this bothered people. So they keep saying it. So they can get more mad. He think he know all. Well, I said it one time. I see y'all motherfuckers are low in spirit. So when people speak great of themselves, y'all have this weird problem with it. Only others can speak great about you, but don't have confidence in yourself, and don't speak highly of yourself, only of others. And this is just fucking weird. Like, I don't grasp that. But I see y'all didn't receive that well, so I don't never really say it no more. I'm the wisest. I say I'm the wise one. I don't even know what I say, but y'all don't receive reality well, because am I not the wise? I'm really confused. Sometimes I swag it off to make y'all mad, because that's funny to me. So sometimes it be ego, but it's not a purpose ego where I'm lost in ego. No, I'm fucking with you because I know I'm smooth like that. And y'all jealous, and y'all nature, y'all look to be envious of the thing. So I know I'm pretty hefe and swag the fuck out, so sometimes I'll rub it in and say, fuck you, nigga, I'm swagged out. I'm the conscious cutie. I'm the cute one out of all. You see, these niggas are ugly. I'm swagged out. I'm cute. And I do that on purpose. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. I'm me, nigga. I'm gonna do what I do. I could care less if you think I'm cute, ugly. It don't matter. I don't get paid to be cute or ugly. But if you a low spirit and I see that kind of shit bother you and you wouldn't get on my nerves, I get on y'all nerves sometimes. So it lies there. But when I say things like I'm the wisest and then y'all be like, no, I be waiting for y'all to show me. Like I don't say that in ego. I be confused. Like who say things that make more sense than me? Like if there was somebody else, I'd be like, yeah. But I just don't. What do y'all see that I don't? Because I put things on Facebook like if there's somebody that y'all know wiser than me that y'all think is, put their name down so I could go check them out and reason with them. So, because if they are, I want to. That's what I'm about to know. That's why I deal with the life, because the life is the smartest thing that I see in life. So I'm like, I'd rather learn from that. But if you know somebody wiser, put their name down, and nobody never does. They just get mad and be like, it's almost like they don't have the confidence to put someone's name down, because then when I go see the person, they in the back of their mind, they like, nah, this person's pretty good, but Solace is still a little wiser. But why not just say that? Like, I don't get it. But in any event, none of that matters. You know, wisdom is about applying it to self and bettering self. Therefore, you can balance out and make the life a little better. I think I got a booger in my nose or something. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm about to end this video, so I go in and get to that. Get to that gold. They digging for gold, baby. I'm sorry. I got too much personality to be a teacher, I guess. I don't know, man. But I lived a life, so that's where the swag and ego came from. When you sell dope, you gotta have swag and ego. And it stay with me, you know? But it is what it is. I ain't here to make none of y'all feel bad. Shit, be yourself. You don't gotta wear costumes. Put on regular motherfucking clothes and do you. You dig? I don't want y'all to get throwed off. Fellas, why you dressed up? Because I'm grown, my nigga. Y'all don't know me in real fucking life. They get lost, they see me in a suit like, oh, why you dressed up? Because in real life, I'm 35 years old, almost 36, nigga. That's why the grown men don't. I'm confused in life. Y'all are weird to me, but just because you watch me in a video and I got on a hoodie or... That's weird. I always wear collar shirts and shit. I don't get it, but I don't know. Whatever. In any event, you know, I dress like a grown-up, so you don't have to get confused if you see me in person. Or if you see me happen to do a video when I'm dressed up, I'm about to leave out right quick, so that's why I'm dressed. Usually I be just waking up when I'm doing a video or relaxing when I'm doing a video. And I tend to just grab any shirt that's within reach. You know? So I won't be shirtless in the video. But in any event, the woman's body is a hell. The video I did antagonizing the brothers, hopefully no one takes offense to it. I don't understand the goofy shit, and I'm just different. Like, I'm a man. I'm old school. Man shit, I don't know what happened with that whole thing, where that was not cool anymore, but that's where I stand with it. So, you know, hopefully I can being as brothers, they motivate people to wear costumes and get lost in the drama and things. Hopefully I can motivate, some of the young brothers to, dress like men and not dress like tight clothes or goofy African costumes and Hebrew Israelite costumes, but just be more yourself and dress like a normal person and be a regular person, and hopefully I can motivate people for that. And like I said, it's not about, you can do whatever you want in life, but once you start to force that shit on people, then that's not cool. It's just a deep thing. But make sure I ain't missed nothing in this video. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Pretty much got it all down, I think, for this session. So it's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace, Paset. Peace and wisdom. Move through the day in good spirits, so you can attract that. You move around frown-faced, you attract those that have the frown face within, and it's a deep thing. So sometimes you smiling will attract a negative person to be angry and say, "What the fuck you smiling?" And then they mad you happy. But you take joy in that. Learn and say, I get it. See. He wants this peace and happiness, and this is what everyone wants. So, you just give them some, and you tell them a nice thing. We tend to trade in our peace and happiness to indulge in another's anger and misery, and fuck you. Sometimes you just say a nice, kind word to a person that's coming at you negatively, and you just tell them, God bless you, or something like that, and it's deep. I'm looking at the clouds in the sky right now. I see a perfect image of what we call the phoenix. It's crazy. I wish I got to get a telescope. So I could, a telescope with the camera one, where you could take like images with the telescope. I know that shit costs a lot. And I'm poor. But I gotta get a telescope so y'all can start seeing some things. It's a deep thing, but it's the main man, Solace. When I say I'm poor, I don't want you to get lost in, because brothers get lost as fuck. They think like the shit, when I say shit like that, it's real life, and nigga, what the fuck be wrong with y'all brain? I'm poor because I don't want you niggas to have any expectations for me. I don't got time for y'all goofy shit. Say, oh, Solace is a baller. Then I go to the store looking dusty. Then a nigga be like, oh, Solace fell off. And y'all moving this weird fucking way. A nigga be fly one day and the next day he look all dusty. And y'all, like, everything he had disappeared. He fell off. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That never happened to me yet, but I'm sure. Once you get popular, people start to pay attention. It's just a stupid, weird fucking thing. But, people start to recognize me now, and I don't want to have to get lost into that goofy star stuff where, oh, you got to look this kind of way, even if you go into the store and you can't never be caught looking. Man, listen here, I live in real life, nigga. If you want to play dressing games and who fly games, let me know, and then I'll bust your ass and dressing and looking good, nigga. But if just to be driving myself crazy with that shit, like, oh, I gotta always make sure I look this kind of way when I'm doing my video and when I'm going to the store, I'm not getting lost. I don't got time for that. For all of that, I'm poor, nigga. So you don't have to get lost. Why do you look like this or that, because I'm poor. Solace, why your hair look fucked up in those videos? Now, it's a simple fucking answer. Because I didn't do it. What the fuck? What's wrong with Solace? He must be going through something. Did you see his hair? He took his goddamn braids out and he not lost in stupid shit like y'all? I'm kind of confident in myself, no matter how, whatever. My wisdom is who I am. It's weird, but, like I said, y'all get lost. I've had people ask me, what happened to your hair? What's going on, brother? Nothing, stupid. I took out my goddamn braids. I don't live in stupid time like you, where I'ma think motherfucker gonna think something wrong with me because I didn't comb my hair. Like, it's just weird. Y'all live in weird times. where y'all have to follow the weirdest things, and you just can't be regular and enjoy it. Y'all can't enjoy whatever fame y'all got. I'm in enjoying whatever I get, and I'm not about to let y'all interfere with that. Where I got to be tap dancing and, hey, let me make sure I combed my hair or I can't do no videos. My hair going to be fucked up many days. There's many days I'm going to look raggedy to y'all, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how y'all view me. I don't care. But I just you can't fuck with me and fly shit. So just get that shit out your mind, and I'm fine. And you fine. And just grasp. Solve knowledge. Just grasp. I don't tap dance. I don't subscribe to the things y'all do, but so you could just separate me from that. And you just say, oh, yes, that's pretty hefe, but you know. That's why he pretty hefe, because he don't got to always look pretty. I'll look pretty if you need to see pretty hefe, then you know I slick my shit back and I'll let you see pretty hefe, and then you won't be confused like, oh yeah, he is pretty. And then I be cheese, regular cheese, you know, the grimy motherfucker that's fuzzed out with the tattoo looking stupid, with the hair all fucked up looking crazy, smoking Bud the Bob Marley and shit like that, and Damian Marley, and then you. So it's just the many faces of Solace. I don't subscribe to y'all goofy shit, but it is what it is. And in any event, it's your main man Solace, the wise one. Peace and wisdom.